Hi Virgo, welcome to your monthly reading for March 2026. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Laura, aka Baby Curl Tarot. I'm a tarot reader, astrologer, and root worker. And I love doing monthly readings for all the zodiac signs here on YouTube, as well as some other fun content over on TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and get right into your reading. Keep in mind this is a general collective message, so whatever comes up, comes up. Also, please don't ever try to force a reading you see on the internet to fit your personal life situations. If it's not resonating, probably a message for another Virgo out there. Please take what resonates, leave the rest behind. All right, let's get into it. Spiritual team, hello. Legendary ladies, goddess deck, what messages do you have for the Virgo collective at this time? I don't even need to keep shuffling. Maybe I do. Okay, so we had a couple of cards pop out of the deck, a little more than what I'm looking for, so let's try again. Spiritual team, legendary ladies, goddess deck, what messages do you have for the Virgo collective for March 2026? What messages do you have for the Virgo collective for March 2026? Okay, ooh, we have Aphrodite, we have passion. Okay, what's at the bottom? We have psyche, persistence. Passion and persistence. Okay, what are we pursuing this month in March? Okay, and as we run into maybe challenges or obstacles, how are we handling those challenges and obstacles? Are we giving up at the first sign of resistance, or are we finding new ways to maybe approach a situation that maybe worked when we approached it the same way we've been doing over and over again? I'm gonna go ahead and read from the guidebook just to make sure if there's any other messages that maybe I'm missing here, that you guys get to hear those, okay? So let's start with Aphrodite, Greek goddess of love. Aphrodite teaches us how to own our sexuality and be in touch with the material pleasures of the world. Think about what you've been passionate about and let that be a clue to reveal the answer you're looking for. Okay, what else do we have? Psyche. Very interesting. So some of you guys could be looking for, if I could equate this to anything, let's say you're a content creator, you're trying to figure out what your niche is, right? It's a good buzzword that everybody likes to talk about. Some of you guys may be trying to figure out what your niche is, what your focus is. Maybe you guys have a lot of ideas or you have a lot of interests. And some of you guys may be trying to narrow it down and trying to figure out, okay, if I'm gonna get the algorithm to pick up what I'm putting down and get me to where I wanna go and connect me with the right community, I need to figure out like what my base content pillars are. Okay, this is the marketing in me talking, my marketing education talking. But some of you guys may just find that like there's one thing in particular that you just wake up and love to talk about every single day. It doesn't matter what time of day, when, whether you're feeling sad, happy, whatever, like you could talk about this thing forever and you truly enjoy it and you truly enjoy learning about it, not just sharing it with other people. That could be something you want to consider. All right, let's look at Psyche. So another Greek goddess of the soul. Psyche is here to lift you back up so that you may persist. Remember that the ability to stick to something will be your greatest advantage. Okay, listen, if it doesn't work the first time, try again. Dust yourself off, keep trying again is what it feels like. So it may take a minute for you to really see the results or the rewards of what it is that you're pursuing. So it feels like March is going to be one of those months for you guys that there's going to be a lot of trial and error. There's going to be some roadblocks. There's going to be some challenges. There could be, you know, moments where you have to go back and do something a little different or tweak something or edit something of that nature. That's what it feels like, at least. Let's get into the tarot though and see what comes up. Spiritual team, erotic fantasy tarot. What messages do you have, excuse me, for the Virgo collective, excuse me, in March 2026? What messages do you have for the Virgo collective in March 2026? Okay, now you did hear me correctly. I did say erotic fantasy tarot, which means that the art in this deck is pretty spicy. It's pretty kinky. So I'm not gonna be able to show you every single card. And if you see me staring at something for a little bit and not really saying anything, that's just me recognizing and catching up with what I'm seeing and recognizing I can't put that on screen. Okay. All right, let's get into the tarot and see what's coming up for you guys though. We have the Queen of Cups at the top of the deck. We have the World card. We have the Five of Wands. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. And we have the Three of Swords in reverse. Interesting. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Wands in reverse. Seven of Swords in reverse. Magician in reverse. Four of Cups in reverse. And Temperance. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's start at the bottom of the deck. There's just a lot of things that you're gonna have to be really honest about yourself or with yourself about when it comes to how you approach something. Some of you guys may have been trying to build a foundation, a business, a community, a family, whatever, a relationship on some unsteady ground. I think I used this analogy with Cancer, but I'm going to use the Three Little Pigs as an analogy, believe it or not. Okay, so we have this Four of Wands here in the reverse, and it feels like you've been trying to build this foundation out of sticks or hay, right? That's not sustainable. That's not going to make it last. It's pretty flimsy. It's a pretty flimsy foundation. So let's go back to the example of content creation. You're building your content on the basis of strictly trends and viral things you think people want to see from you. But that's not sustainable. It's just going to have you chasing your tail constantly, trying to set yourself apart from the thousands and millions, honestly, of creators that are doing the exact same thing the exact same way. So I feel like this month in particular, and honestly coming into March, because this is really what the energy has been of you coming into the month of March or previous to the month of March, is you really getting honest about your approach and what isn't working. Oh, I can't show the Magician in reverse. She does not have a top on, but I can show you the Seven of Swords in reverse. So there could be a realization, there could be maybe somebody says something that makes you realize like, dang, okay, I have not been approaching this to the best of my abilities, nor have I been approaching this maybe in the best way that I can approach this, right? So I think now there is an openness potentially that you're coming into March with, an openness to find what works for you, to find your flow state, essentially. We have the Four of Cups in reverse. I love seeing that in the reverse because when it's upright, it tells me that there's some resistance to advice, feedback, or just generally opportunities to change or improve your situation. So in the reverse, it feels like you guys are definitely more open to taking the feedback, to really looking at yourself with an honest perspective, more subjective perspective, and separate your desire for the outcome and just looking at things with a little bit of a different perspective. I think I already said that, but I just wanted to hammer that home. Okay, I can't show you the Temperance card, but again, it just feels like you're trying to find that balance of you know, things that are appealing obviously to the collective. So again, if you're a content creator, you can't avoid trends, but maybe you're now finding a way to approach it in a way that feels more authentic to you. So sprinkling in that personal aspect is going to take you farther and set you more apart in comparison to other people that are doing the exact same thing, putting your own spin on it. Okay, so I feel like that's where we are coming into the month of March. Now let's get back to the top of the deck that I pulled for you. Queen of Cups, following your intuition, following your creativity, allowing that to fully blossom, bloom, and expressing itself naturally is beautiful. Having the World card here definitely feels like a lot of you guys maybe perform to large groups of people. When I see the World card, it can definitely talk about, you know, people that do something for the viewing of large groups of people. So definitely content creator vibes, because you're putting your art out there for people to see. Maybe you guys are artists, maybe you guys are, I don't know, take what resonates, but I'm just giving you an example. It's the easiest way for me to communicate what I'm seeing and feeling. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to mean you are a content creator and that's what you want your life to be, but just the easiest way for me to explain things, okay? But it feels like you guys are definitely more in harmony. You guys are more connected to the collective and also to your own individuality, your own intuition, your own take, creativity, whatever, your own voice even. What else do we have? That being said, even though you may be feeling more confident in yourself, you may be feeling more confident in your ability to level up and move on to the next step, like I said, level of what it is that you're doing or pursuing, there's always going to be challenges. And especially in March, because we do have a Mercury retrograde towards the end of February and into, I'd say, mid-March. It's going to end around March 20th. Okay. So there could be pushback. There could be chaos. There could be technical difficulties. There could be, upsetting challenges. There could be trolls that come for you in the comment section. It's going to feel like you're taking 2 steps forwards to take 3 steps back sometimes. It's going to feel maybe a little chaotic, a little like, what is happening? Dips in your views, things go up, things go down, engagement is low. You don't know how you ended up on this side of TikTok, like those videos, like, hey, help me get back to the right side of TikTok. I see those videos a lot. It's always funny to me, like, how did I end up here? So there could be a little bit of chaos, and sometimes Mercury retrograde throws those challenges in our way so that we can learn how to adapt effectively, and we can learn how to approach things differently, because sometimes the way we have been approaching things doesn't work anymore. So things could be changing that are outside of your control, and also things within you are changing, and you're trying to like keep up with that, those shifts that are internal and external. And that can feel a little tricky, because on the one hand, maybe you finally get comfortable with, how you want to approach things, and then all of a sudden the algorithm changes, or the trends change, or the formats change, and you're like, shit, I just got comfortable doing it this way, now I gotta switch it up and do it this way. So it's gonna be a lot of that. There definitely could be some very frustrating moments. It's really all about how you pick yourself up though, and dust yourself off with this 3 of Swords in reverse. It's how quick can you recover from the failures or the missteps, the mistakes, whatever it is. How quickly can you recover from those and get back on that horse to keep trying, kind of a thing. All right, Virgos, that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Hopefully you guys understood what I was trying to say here, but ultimately that's the basis of your month of March. It's just making sure that you stay persistent in whatever it is that you're pursuing, because you are going to come up against some competition or some challenges or fails, and you're just going to have to learn how to roll with that. That's the big lesson for March, I feel, for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and close out your reading with one final oracle deck just to get you some final messages. Spiritual team, daily crystal inspiration. What messages do you have for the Virgo collective for March 2026? What final messages do you have for the Virgo collective for March 2026? What do we have? Sow to light, speak your truth. And that's where that authenticity comes from. That's where that unique approach comes from, your creativity, being even a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more personal, okay? And less like, hi, I'm just a pretty face on TikTok. Definitely more of like putting your own personal spin, your own flavor, your own experiences, things like that into the things that you make. All right, we also have Lepidolite, recall your dreams. Very interesting. And again, that's where the Queen of Cups comes in. This is a very intuitive month, I feel, for you guys. So you guys are really going to want to pay attention to dreams that you have, visions, especially daydreams. Like if you find yourself checking out and you're thinking about something, that's an idea waiting to happen potentially, or that's a new approach or a realization. So there could be small moments, again, of inspiration, moments of even going back to things that you used to enjoy, maybe in your childhood, or that you wanted to do months ago, years ago, and you're like, dang, how come I didn't go back to try that? It could be one of those months. Maybe you circle back and do something you haven't done in a while and highlight that in your content or whatever it is that you do. Finally, at the bottom of the deck, we have Unakite, and it says live in the now. Again, just being present, adaptable is really the name of the game. Being adaptable, because there's going to be probably some moments where you're like, stress, worry, anxiety about what this means for me in the future, what I did in the past. Don't worry about all of that. Mistakes are made, it's fine. How do you learn from them? How do you pick up and keep going? Worrying about the future isn't doing you any justice. It's just stressing you out. Let it go. Stay present. Stay with where you are now, okay? As much as possible. Virgos. That's what I'm seeing for you guys. Please leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the reading. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me in the future, and maybe share this with another Virgo if you feel like they might need to hear this message. If you want to see more content from me, I'm also on TikTok and Instagram. My handles are below in the description box. You can also send me a DM on those two platforms if you want to schedule a personal reading with me, at least until my website is up and running. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. I hope to see you guys at the next reading. Until then, please take care of yourselves. Bye.